Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Sarawak continues to strengthen its position as a leader in the regional hydrogen economy by taking carefully calculated risks to develop clean energy technologies based on water resources. Premier Datuk Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg says the approach is essential to identify the most effective solutions for reducing hydrogen production costs while accelerating the transition towards a low-carbon economy.
Meaning Sarawak has H2O. This is how I began with my team. Why not we get hydrogen from our H2O? That's where we started to initiate hydrogen economy from our water system. And we try to identify the process, the electrolysis process, and we acknowledge that it's still expensive. Yeah. And but then when you want to do that process, you need energy too.
Elaborating on the technology's testing phase, Abang Johari says a small-scale prototype plan has been developed to assess the effectiveness of the extraction system and evaluate fuel cell performance in domestic transportation applications. Locally produced hydrogen, he says, is now being expanded to power several experimental vehicles, including utility and public transport vehicles. The Premier adds that the decision to explore the sustainable energy market is based on Sarawak's geographical advantages, including high rainfall levels and an extensive river network that provides abundant water resources. While acknowledging that electrolysis requires significant energy inputs and high costs, he says Sarawak has a distinct advantage through its existing hydroelectric power facilities, which provides clean energy to support hydrogen production.
On the same note, Abang Johari shared Sarawak's readiness in becoming the region's battery, especially in supplying renewable energy. As the state met its domestic energy needs, its surplus low-carbon power can be shared with neighboring countries, effectively proving its long-term commitment to building a robust, sustainable and future-ready green energy ecosystem.
We are now, sharing with our sister state of Sabah. Next will be Brunei, and then we are now negotiating to supply our renewable energy to Singapore. We tell Singapore, okay, we can share with you 1 gigawatt. Yes, we share with you through our LNG. That's why Tokyo Electric, I think your power comes from Bintulu, Sarawak. We share with Japan, right? And that is a low carbon. In other words, what I'm saying here is the leaders in Sarawak are not self-centric. We are sharing with our neighbors.
Sarawak continues to strengthen its sustainable energy economy through 3 key energy sources, including green and blue hydrogen development. Green hydrogen is produced using clean energy, while blue hydrogen is derived from methane with carbon removal technology. This prowess in the energy sector enables Sarawak to expand its power grid to neighboring regions while pursuing new markets. He adds that Sarawak's energy sharing model is not new, as the state has long played a key role in the global energy market through its liquefied natural gas LNG exports. One of Sarawak's major LNG role takes place in Japan, where it helps the country meet its energy needs.
Welcome back. At least 14 people were killed in an Israeli airstrike on southern Lebanon on Monday, that's according to the country's health ministry. Lebanon's culture ministry also says IDF strikes have damaged a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Tyre. RT correspondent Ali Ridas Beiti reports from the ground.
We are now in South Lebanon, Nabati district. After the attacks here in the area, we just had a drone strike behind us here in the city. These attacks are non-stop, especially the drone strikes here in the area, targeting vehicles, motorcycles, even people casually walking on the streets, getting out of the village are being targeted. Even the Lebanese army soldiers have been targeted in this main road close to us, and also in another area, also in Nabati districts. The airstrikes and the shelling are almost non-stop. The airstrike that target the villages here in this district, and also in Tyre district, heavy airstrikes happening all the time, and also artillery shelling targeting almost every village here in the Nabati district. And even the white phosphorus have been used, and we were able to document the use of this substance here in the region. And we checked it with the civil defense here, and they confirmed also that this was used here in the area. So now, with the ceasefire agreement that Iran is trying to go, Lebanon is the break point for this ceasefire. These Israeli attacks are non-stop in Lebanon, the southern villages, and even in the capital. It's not the first time that the capital was targeted by an Israeli strike or an Israeli attack, and Iran is always make sure that Lebanon is a part of this deal. And also Hezbollah, for its part, they haven't stopped their attacks. They haven't stopped their, as they announce it every day, and they mention that it's a retaliation attack on the Israeli breaches for the ceasefire here in the region. So we don't know now if this situation is gonna get like this. Is these are pressures to get a better ceasefire, or Israel just trying to break any ceasefire agreement to continue its aggression and its operations against the Lebanese sovereignty and against the Hezbollah?
Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian warns against an attempt to incite Arab and Muslim countries against the country perpetrated by U.S. and Israeli forces. He says they are actively campaigning this propaganda through various political channels, but backfired when other West Asian countries have started to distance themselves from both America and Israel. To counter the propaganda movement, Iran, by drafting a new policy to maintain harmony on its land.
دومین سیاستی که اینا دارن در حقیقت این بود که کشورهای عربی و کشورهای مسلمان رو علیه ما ایرانیان بسیج کنن، که حالا سیاست‌هایی که امروز در جریان و رهبر عزیز دارن پیگیری میکنن، اون رو هم دارن نقش برآب میکنن. جنگ قطعا به نفع کشور نی، اما اینجوری هم نی. اگر خواستن اونها نسبت به عزت ما، خاک ما و سرزمین ما تجاوز کنن، ما تسلیم خواهیم شد یا کوتاه خواهیم اومد. خواب یه چنین چیزی رو ببینن.
Earlier, Iran launched strikes at American bases in Jordan and Bahrain. Its foreign ministry reiterates the legal and moral responsibility of all countries in the region, especially those located along the southern shores of the Persian Gulf, in preventing U.S. military and Israel from using their territory or facilities to plan, organize, execute, or support hostile actions against Iran. In Bahrain, several loud explosions were heard by journalists and correspondents on ground, while in Jordan, its military forces said it successfully intercepted missile strikes by Iran.
Concurrently, U.S. President Donald Trump took to Truth Social and states that Iran will, quote, pay the price for prolonging peace deals between the warring countries. This threat may come in the form of increased offense towards Iran as the world saw over last weekend when strikes escalated to greater heights, even when Trump made direct calls on Benjamin Netanyahu to stop striking Lebanon. The latter had not heeded Trump's requests, reflecting how little power the U.S. president has over Israel. In recent days, Trump proved that the U.S. no longer has negotiating power with Israel when he stated that the peace deal was in final stages. But Israel proceeded with striking Lebanon's crucial source to clean water. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim stresses that sovereign nations should not hesitate to defend free trade and to oppose punitive tariffs or discriminatory policies. Anwar says that as a sovereign country in an interdependent world, Malaysia clearly states its position on tariffs and urges other nations to be more decisive and vocal in expressing their support for free trade.
Do we agree that there should be punitive tariffs or discriminatory policies? We don't. Do we support free trade? Then say it as a policy. Of course, you know the limits, of course. Yeah, but then you have to say it. But otherwise, you're not contributing to this new emergence of new thinking.
He was asked by reporters on how ASEAN can effectively address protectionist policies by major powers and internal differences among member states, including whether to engage with blocs such as BRICS. He adds that it is crucial for ASEAN to remain actively and dynamically engaged with all countries while maintaining its principles of centrality and independence.
Get all the updates you need all in one app. TVS Inspire brings you live updates on events, news and programs. Available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. TVS Inspire will on your screen, anytime, anywhere. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.